Oregon State had a couple early explosives. Was a lot of that a function of having some players in new positions?
That impacts you. I mean, I don't think in those particular their instances necessarily. The big run on the night that you're most disappointed with that started the scoring. We're out of our gap, and then beyond that, it's coaching and it's on me. It shouldn't go that far, and it's a good example of you always try not to be a call behind. In that they run a play and then you try to call defense that we're going to stop. Well, the next play, they're not running that play. You're always a call behind. But the same thing that you got to be conscious of when you're calling defense is that you don't want to get these guys wired into one specific play. When it's called overcoaching. Because then the fear is and the threat is exactly what happened. You don't get that specific play, now what? And that just limited our top coverage in terms of when someone got out of the gap, and all of a sudden when we didn't get off blocks, we weren't as layered as a defense as you'd otherwise like to be, and that's a me issue, and that's something that we take pride in here is not coaching individual plays versus individual defenses. We do what we do, and we have built-in answers. So in any event, that's not on the kids, that's on me. Now again, we got to stay in our gaps, to alleviate any of those issues, but that's easier said than done. And you got to give Oregon State credit. I think sometimes you forget that they're practicing each week these opponents to scheme Washington State, and we don't have a monopoly on execution. And so I give Oregon State full credit in their coaching staff. I thought they had a good plan, and they executed us early. And you certainly don't want it to happen, but you're not immune to it either. So I felt like the guys responded, and that in the end, it's hard to win football games, and we found a way to get a W.
When you fall a little behind like that, does it take halftime to sort of reset and get ahead of the 8 ball again?
It's tough. I thought our guys, from a resiliency standpoint, we've been through quite a bit this year, as you interact with those guys on the sideline, there was no waiver, there was no a lack of belief or lack of trust in either the calls or each other. And part of that is they just want to have answers, and when you have an answer for them, you can explain to them, and it's very easy to go on to the next, next series, next play, and then focus on their execution and effort. Unfortunately, again, it goes back to, you have to give Oregon State credit. They did a better job than we did early on, which again pains you to say as a coach, but that's what the film showed, and that's what it was that night. But I thought they certainly responded. And the big message at halftime was, stay together. We didn't drop any new defense. And it was important. They understood this on Sunday. We didn't drop any new defense. We didn't scrap any defense, and we didn't make any substitutions. So it was the same guys, same calls in the second half. They all of a sudden executed a little bit better. We got to obviously do that from the start.
Coach, you said it wasn't a change defense. Was it an adjustment in mindset or schematically? What was it that?
I think we as a little bit of the as you react to them, as best we can, we try to make offenses react to us. And I thought early on we were reacting to them too much. And again, it always goes back to coaching. Did we make too much of an emphasis on this particular scheme, play, motion, formation to make our guys tentative in any way? And so, from that standpoint, that's something we have to analyze and put the focus back on, again, the coaching staff. But I think the comfort level was up, and we were thrown in a very difficult situation at the beginning of the third quarter, and there wasn't a whole lot to draw from a positive standpoint. 3 and out, fake punt that didn't go our way, and all of a sudden you're thrust out there, and that was kind of the turning point, I think, in the game. I thought we played extremely well in that second half.
Thank you.